Justin Herbert's playoff struggles continue. The entire world today is slandering Justin Herbert, but I've got his back. I'm going to tell you why you got to give Justin Herbert a couple more things, a couple more difference makers, and his career will change. Also, the Rams get a big win in Carolina. We're breaking down the victory. I'm going to tell you why the Rams now have the best path to the Super Bowl among all the teams remaining. Got some Dodgers rumors starting to heat up. LA meets with Kyle Tucker. We got an update on Cody Bellinger just now. And LeBron James kind of hinting at a farewell tour. And Luka Doncic, Dennis Schroder, what happened with that drama? All that more coming up next on the LA Sports Report.
LA is the sports capital of the world. The Lakers have entered their Luka Doncic era. LeBron doesn't just want a farewell tour, he wants a farewell title. The Rams are going to win the Super Bowl. Go, Kings, go. The Dodgers are the best run franchise in all of professional sports. Shohei Ohtani is the GOAT. Steve Ballmer will do anything to get the Clippers a championship. Mick Cronin has to win a national championship at UCLA. Justin Herbert is a top 5 quarterback in this league. College football is just better when USC is good. This whole city has the Mamba mentality. I love LA.
Live from the heart of Los Angeles, this is the LA Sports Report with your host, Doug McKain.
What is up, and welcome to the LA Sports Report. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. I've covered LA sports for over a decade. I'm loyal to the soil, and we bring you the LA Sports Report. It's all things LA sports. Everything you need to know, the hottest stories about the teams that you love from the City of Angels. And if you're new to the channel, be a day one. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, drop a like, drop a comment down below. It's the fastest growing all LA sports YouTube channel and podcast. So we thank all of you guys out there for joining us at the beginning, being a day one. Appreciate you for that. But there's a lot to get into in the world of LA sports. So let's get right into it, starting with the Los Angeles Chargers. Justin Herbert. If you love the intro of the show, I say Justin Herbert is a top 5 quarterback. And today, a lot of fans out there, a lot of Justin Herbert slander is being spread because of the performance that he had against the Patriots in the Chargers' loss during Wild Card weekend. It wasn't pretty. A 16-3 loss. Justin Herbert goes 19 for 31, 159 yards, no interceptions, but he was missing guys. There were a couple examples of him not going to checkdowns, not going to underneath stuff, running, breaking the pocket when you had open receivers downfield. And everyone is jumping on Justin Herbert today. Everyone is saying that Justin Herbert is not the kind of quarterback that everyone thinks he is. He's not this all-world arm. This guy has the potential to be one of the best 5 quarterbacks in the NFL. And I think that multiple things can be true when we're talking about Justin Herbert. And I think the multiple things are, yes, Justin Herbert is 0-3 in the playoffs. Yes, he has not won a playoff game. But just look at the circumstances. Justin Herbert was treated like a crash test dummy yesterday. He was treated like a piñata. They were after him all night long. And you had a historically bad offensive line. They gave up 30 pressures and 6 sacks. 30 pressures and 6 sacks. The receivers were not open very often, but when they were, he missed them. You didn't have your starting running back in Omarion Hampton, who led the team in rushing. And then lastly, your offensive coordinator is Greg Roman. So think about this. The offensive coordinator for the Chargers, Greg Roman, He was bad with Lamar Jackson. In 2 playoff games, 1 touchdown in 22 possessions. I mean, the offense, they were non-existent. There were a lot of long developing plays. There were a lot of moments there where you just weren't making adjustments based on the pressure of the Patriots. And I look at all this blame towards Justin Herbert. Oh, Justin Herbert, this guy's a bust. All this guy cares about is being a celebrity in Los Angeles. All this guy cares about is dating Madison Beer and sitting courtside at Lakers games, and you won't see him on the practice field with a net and a ball when no one's out there just practicing and trying to get better as a quarterback. That's all BS, man. It truly is. When you frame it the way I frame it, I look at this last night. Multiple things can be true. Did Justin Herbert have his best game? No, he did not. But I look at a quarterback that lost a game where he had inferior coaching compared to the Patriots with Greg Roman as your offensive coordinator, an inferior offensive line that gave up 30 pressures and 6 sacks. Receivers weren't getting open as much as some other moments that we've seen with Justin Herbert, and he was missing his running back. And yes, I get it. You guys want him to put on the red cape. You want him to go into the phone booth and come out with the red cape and be super Justin and do what Josh Allen does, where it's going 1-on-11, it feels like, and finding a way to win. Sure, he needs to be that guy eventually. Sure, he needs to win in the playoffs to be considered an elite quarterback. But let's not forget the organization that he plays for, the Chargers. The Chargers are like the Padres. The Chargers are like the Clippers. The Chargers fit in San Diego because it feels like they're an organization where, yeah, we're Mr. September, but not Mr. January. We're good in the regular season, can't get it done in the playoffs. I think that the Chargers have failed Justin Herbert, not the other way around. Yes, you've been decimated by injuries, and injuries happen in the NFL. But to say this is all on Justin Herbert, and he's the big reason why they're this playoff failure, I think it's ridiculous. According to Next Gen Stats, the Patriots pressured Justin Herbert on 16 of his 44 dropbacks, a 36.4% pressure rate. It's the third highest in the wild card weekend. And against the Patriots, pressure was 3 for 8, 21 yards, no touchdowns, a 45.8 rating. And against the Patriots blitz, he was 7 for 16, 43.8%. He struggled. He didn't make the plays he needed to make, but I think with the arm talent that he does have, he was made to air the football out. And when you have an offensive coordinator like Greg Roman, who has no creativity, he's not scheming up pass concepts to get receivers open. It's hard when you don't have time in the pocket because your offensive line are a bunch of cones. They're a bunch of turnstiles. He needs a good play caller that can mask those deficiencies. When Greg Roman was in Baltimore, he got a good amount out of Lamar Jackson, but Lamar Jackson regressed as a passer. When the Ravens brought in Todd Monken in 2023, Jackson went on to win his second MVP. He set career highs in passing yards, completion percentage. They spread out that offense. And when it matters most, Greg Roman is atrocious. He's 1-5 in the postseason as a play caller. His teams have averaged less than 14 points per game with the Ravens and the Chargers. Under Greg Roman, the Chargers have only scored 15 points in 2 playoff losses. And Jim Harbaugh, who's got a long relationship with Greg Roman, I think failed Justin Herbert too. Because Harbaugh knows him from all the way back in 2009. And Harbaugh was asked about Greg Roman's future. And he said, quote, "I don't have that answer right now. We're going to look at that and everything. We'll work hard. It'll be a new beginning." So look, Greg Roman's just a bad offensive coordinator. So let me try to listen to some of these other takes. all these people out there. And here's the thing about sports media. I get it. Here's the thing about sports media. Usually you get the guy who here's the first narrative, and the big narrative around the national media is Justin Herbert's not a big game quarterback. Justin Herbert's 0-3 in the playoffs. Justin Herbert had 4 interceptions against the Texans. He blew a 27-point lead against the Jaguars. And it's Justin Herbert because he plays the quarterback position. He's the highest paid player on the team. He's the guy that you're going to single out. But the truth is, Justin Herbert isn't the failure. He's a part of the problem, but it's those around him who are the biggest failures. I think it's less about number 10, and I think it's more about Jim Harbaugh trusting his friend Greg Roman, who is quite possibly the worst offensive coordinator in the NFL. It's the front office and Dean Spanos and player development, the organization, for surrounding him with a bunch of offensive linemen that, yes, you got the injuries and you can't account for that, but still, he doesn't have a formidable offensive line. His running back got injured. So it sounds like I'm making excuses for Justin Herbert, but the truth is multiple things can be true. Does Justin Herbert need to win his next playoff game to get the haters away from him? Absolutely. Does he still have to prove that he can find a way to step up in those situations where we've seen Josh Allen kind of make chicken salad out of chicken, you know what? Sure, there's no doubt about it. But I look at a guy like Matthew Stafford. What is Justin Herbert's record in the playoffs with the Chargers? 0-3. What was Matthew Stafford's record in the playoffs with the Detroit Lions? 0-3. Sometimes it's tough to overcome being a part of a bad organization. And I look at the quarterback play in the league. Justin Herbert is 27 years old. He's younger than Josh Allen. He's younger than Lamar Jackson. He's younger than Dak Prescott. He's younger than Joe Burrow. He's younger than most of his peers. He just needs to be put in a better situation. He needs to be surrounded by better talent, not just on the field, but on the sidelines. The Chargers have mostly been an absolute dumpster fire and have been among the worst organizations in the National Football League for the better part of 3 decades. And this is just more of the same from a team that doesn't know how to optimize their best players. So, hey, he's still got one of the best arms. The arm talent is certainly there. And there's no doubt about it. He has to find a way to perform better under the bright lights. But I'm kind of with his teammate, Bradley Bozeman, who went off after the game. He was asked why he's confident that Justin Herbert will get a playoff win. And he said, because he's the best effing quarterback in the league, flat out. That's all I got to say about that. The guy's special, and it sucks to not get him in there because he's kind of that caliber. Is he the best quarterback in the league? No, he's not. But is his arm talent and the potential to be top 5? I think it still is. And I still think that if he had Kyle Shanahan or Sean McVay or Ben Johnson, if he had a somewhat competent offensive line, that there's no doubt about it they beat the Patriots. There's no doubt about it that he is someone that's considered to be among the top 5 best quarterbacks in the NFL. I mean, there's just so many stupid takes. Oh, he choked away a 27-0 lead. No. I mean, look at the pass protection. The Bills ranked first in the league, a 90 score if you combine PFF, ESPN, all the metrics for offensive line. Number 1 is the Bills. Number 32 is the Chargers. Quite literally and factually, the worst offensive line in the NFL. He needs to get better, but they need to get better around him. And man, here's the thing about Justin Herbert, man. It's not fair. I mean, you can say he's an overrated NFL quarterback. He makes hundreds of millions of dollars, played poorly in the playoffs, and he still gets to go home to his girlfriend, Madison Beer. Just saying, hey, not all is bad in the world of Justin Herbert. But here was him after the game, short and sweet, talking about what needs to change.
What is your confidence in yourself that you will be able to get over this hump eventually, get a playoff win, make a playoff run?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet, and hasn't happened, so we'll have to reevaluate and see what happens.
So there's Justin Herbert. Now, speaking of a quarterback that did win yesterday, we got to switch to the Rams. Where's my Rams theme music? Bang. The Los Angeles Rams, they survived, they advanced, they beat the Carolina Panthers in a game that came down to the wire. The Rams had to mount a comeback at the end with 2:39 left to play. Matthew Stafford marched down the field to get his fourth career playoff victory. He's got 6 playoff wins in his career. He's come back in 4 of those games. Now, let's start, though, with an injury update we got one on Kevin Dotson. Akella Witherspoon is out for the remainder of the playoffs. He re-injured that scapula, so the Rams got to do something about that secondary. But here was Sean McVay after the game with an injury update and what's ahead for the Rams.
What about what's Kevin Dotson's?
He's making great progress. I was really encouraged. I thought he had a great week last week. Optimistic about what that looks like for this week. Been proud as hell of how Justin Dedich has battled, but the expectations, and I know Kevin's preparing to go play this week, and we're going to really, push that thing and see how he feels with the optimism that there's a good chance that he makes it.
And Terrence Ferguson and some of the other guys?
Feel really good about Terrence. Terrence and Josh Wallace are the other guys that are looking really good. They were right up until kickoff. There was a possibility that they could make it. Kevin obviously was the one guy that we did rule out, and been really pleased with his progress, but just based on the nature of some of the things his position would require. But with some of those other guys, it's looking pretty good.
So there we go. Sean McVay gives a positive update. They need Kevin Dotson back. The run game was certainly there. It's just like Sean McVay tends to do, he completely abandoned it when they needed it the most. Now, a lot of people are down on the Rams because they let the Carolina Panthers compete with them in that game. The Rams had a chance to absolutely make a laugh out of it. They came out of the gate strong. It looked like the Rams were going to blow out the Panthers, but that wasn't the case. And it's the NFL playoffs. You're not going to blow out every single team, especially on the road. Did they have a chance to do it? They did, but it didn't happen. And I don't think that that's necessarily something to be overly concerned about with this Rams team, because we know what they are. I've said it before. I'm convinced that this Rams team, they could be playing an all-pro team, they could be playing a high school team, and they would win or lose by 3 points, right? But this is a Rams team that had a near-perfect start. The way they started, it looked like it was going to be a blowout. You go up and you march down the field. Matthew Stafford was 8 for 8. You get a big touchdown. And then late in the second, you are in a position where you go for on 4th and 3 inside the 20. Instead of kicking a field goal, it was a 17-7 game at that point. If you kick the field goal, it ends up being a 20-7 game at that point. And you really start to kind of seize control. It looks like it's over and you are going to pull away. But here's the thing. You got to take some risks in some situations. And the Rams definitely are one of the better fourth quarter teams and teams that going for it on 4th down. So you kind of feel like they always have a chance. But I look at that situation right there where the Rams, in a big moment, you're probably going to lose control of a playoff game at some point just to get it back. But they started 1 for 7 on 3rd down in that one. On the year, they're 20th in the NFL on 3rd down, but they're the 5th best team in the NFL on 4th down. So it comes down to execution. They didn't get it. And just because you don't get the result that you want does not mean it was a bad result, right? Like we talk about sometimes, you only talk about the results and you talk about what happened. At the time, it was the turning point. It ended up being a major swing in that game. And the Panthers, they gone down the field and they put up a score. They go 81 yards on 5 plays. But I think in that situation, what really hurt them was after halftime, and they come out and they go 3 straight incompletions, and Matthew Stafford got injured. I mean, Matthew Stafford got hit in the finger, and it really hurt his play. And there's no doubt about the fact that he was feeling it in that moment. Stafford was playing through adrenaline, but he was missing throws that he typically never misses. He was making plays later in the game that he was missing. And heading into the fourth quarter, Stafford was on a 4-19 slide for 47 yards with an interception. The third quarter alone, he was 2 for 10 for 24 yards. So to say he was playing bad entering that fourth quarter would have been a complete understatement. But all of a sudden, it's Matthew Stafford again. And the MVP awakens, and he ends up going 12 for 15 for 143 yards and 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. On the game-winning drive with 2:39 left to play, he goes 6 for 7 for 71 yards. It was his first game-winning drive since week 4. And that saved the Rams season. Here was Matthew Stafford after the game.
Pretty calm, pretty steady. Just felt like I was seeing the coverages really well. Guys up front did a hell of a job keeping me clean on that last drive too, giving me time to click through some progressions. And, I feel like I said, I've been in that spot a lot in my life. And so bring a smile to my face because I like being there, and would love to be up, 14 and taking a knee on it with, 4 minutes left. But shoot, wins the win.
He has been in that spot. He has now 6 playoff wins. It's tied with Johnny Unitas, Bob Greasy, Fran Target, and 4 of those 6 have come on game-winning drives, where it's tied, and that's tied for the 5th most all time with Dan Marino, Terry Bradshaw, and Brandon Roethlisberger. So, look, it's Matthew Stafford. You know he's going to come up big in those situations. He was 6 for 7 on that final drive when he hit Colby Parkinson for that go-ahead touchdown. And one of those incompletions was a drop by Davante Adams. And just what a play by Colby Parkinson. The catch that he made had a 27.3% catch probability. And he goes up, he grabs it. And if that's any other tight end in the NFL, one of the big name tight ends, the Travis Kelce's, the George Kittles, whoever it may be, you're probably talking about a little more. If that was Puka Nacua, would definitely be talking about a little more. But Parkinson goes up and gets it, and he makes one of the great catches that we've seen in recent Rams history.
High, outside, left foot, right foot. He is in. Tell you what, Colby Parkinson, they paid him a lot of money. Originally drafted in Seattle. My last year in Seattle, he was one of our young tight ends, and I think everyone thought he was going to be good, but he has taken on a huge role in this Rams offense down the stretch, and this place is...
So just an incredible grab by Colby Parkinson, a great moment there by Matthew Stafford. The Rams had a 28.1% chance of winning that game when Matthew Stafford got the ball. And it's just an example why you have to throw all those projections out of the window. Do the computers, does the data account for Matthew Stafford's history, his clutch factor? I don't think it does. And Stafford said one of the coldest things that a quarterback has ever said to one of his teammates right before that drive. And Davante Adams said after the game that Matthew Stafford said that they were going to snatch the hearts out of the Panthers, and they certainly did.
Yeah, I think he said, let's go snatch these guys' hearts. And that was pretty cold. That was pretty cold. Just to hear that, and I actually literally smiled in the moment because I thought that was like one of the most gangster things you could say in that moment, honestly. And to hear him say that and the look on his face, and then throw the touchdown, and then the look on his face after that was just like MVP stuff.
So that's when the playoff experience just really, really plays up. I mean, that's where you need experienced veterans, guys that have gone through those wars. And the big question now is, can the Rams overcome their issues? You saw the quarterback mask a lot of those issues, but the defense, even with the Rams front seven getting pressure at almost 50% clip, the secondary was cooked. I mean, you saw Emmanuel Forbes and Kobe Durant and Quinn Lake and Akella Witherspoon's out for the remainder of the season. Darius Williams, we'll see what happens with that. Can they find enough success and not get exploited to beat teams like the Bears or the Seahawks or 49ers or whoever comes out of the AFC? Because right now it's tough to say. Because it's not just the secondary, it's also special teams. You had a punt block that led to the Panthers going up. You did make a field goal in the first half, but I think if the Rams are going to make the run that they are capable of making, you got to clean that stuff up. The Rams haven't had good special teams since John Fossil had taken over. I mean, if you had Matt Gay or Greg Zuerlein, you'd feel a little better. We have Harrison Mevis and you have Benko Twika, who was taking over for Chase Blackburn to run the special teams unit. So it's a major, major concern. It really, really is. You give up big plays over the middle. You don't have size at the cornerback spot. Akella Witherspoon's done for the season. And here's the thing. Every team has strengths and weaknesses. Every team has those weaknesses. They found a way to win. They're going to have to play a lot better. They're going to have to play a lot better if they're going to want to beat the Bears at Soldier Field. Now, got to shine a light on Puka Nacua. Puka Nacua is the best receiver in the NFL. And the Rams drafted him with their 4th pick in the 5th round. He's not just a great receiver. He is a great receiver in the playoffs. And that takes you to a whole nother level. He had another massive game for the Rams. Over 100 yards receiving. Had a couple touchdowns. Yes, he did drop what would have been a touchdown before the half. But he more than made up for it with an incredible play in the 4th quarter. A play that might have saved the Rams' season. A play that shows you that it's not just he's an offensive player, a receiver. He's a ball player. He's a football player. He goes up and he breaks up what would have been Matthew Stafford's 2nd interception. Would have given the Panthers all the momentum once again. And the Rams could be in Cancun right now if it weren't for this play by Puka Nacua.
They put him in the gun. Stafford looking, throwing over Nakua's head and broken up. Nacua turned into a DB and got it away from Nick Scott. I said broken up, and it was by the receiver.
That is such a heads-up play because you see Nacua, he stops. Stafford thinks he's going to keep going, and then Puka Nacua does his best defensive backs. He just punches his right hand right through Nick Scott. You're lucky that wasn't another pick.
Puka Nacua might be the Rams' best defensive back right now. That play showed so much savvy, so much football IQ. He knew that he didn't have a chance to catch it, and he just breaks from his route, turns completely from Stafford, and just tries to break it up. And they're trying to pick on Nick Scott, and he's able to knock that ball out, and the Rams would end up surviving. They would end up winning this game. I mean, Puka Nacua absolutely saved the season. He now has over 100 yards in his playoff career. Essentially, when he's out there, he's a lock for that. He's played in 4 playoff games and has over 100 yards in half of those games. His 30 playoff receptions are tied with Larry Fitzgerald for the 3rd most in a player's first 4 playoff games. He also has the 4th most receiving yards in a player's first 4 playoff games. Puka got the Rams their first touchdown. He scored 2 touchdowns. He became the only Rams player to record a receiving touchdown and a rushing touchdown in a game. He didn't have that drop, but more than made up for it. So, hey, Travis Hunter, eat your heart out. Shohei Ohtani, you got company. There's another 2-way player in Los Angeles, and it's Puka Nacua, saving the season for the Rams. I think that Matthew Stafford's the Rams MVP, but Puka Nacua is the heart and soul of the Rams. It's that grit, that effort that really shows up in big situations. And you got to love it. What a moment for the Rams. Find a way to win. And I think that even though they had their ups and downs in that one, even though it felt like they played down to their competition, I feel like the Rams are in the best spot of any of the teams remaining in the NFC as far as their path to getting to Super Bowl LX in San Francisco. Think about what could have been. If the 49ers lost to the Eagles, they'd be playing the Seahawks in Seattle. And sure, you can beat Seattle. Sure, you were going to blow them out the last time you were up there, but you never want to play the number one seed in the divisional round. Now they don't have to do that. The Eagles, a team that's been their nemesis for the last couple of years, they're knocked out. Worst vibes team in NFL history in my eyes. And then now you've got the Chicago Bears, who are a really good team. You've got Ben Johnson. Caleb Williams is finding himself in Chicago doing the Salt Bay cheese grater. I love that. But still, it's a young quarterback in the playoffs. In Chicago, they feel like they're playing with house money at this point. You won a playoff game in your first year with Ben Johnson. They're a team that was on their way to getting blown out by the Green Bay Packers without Micah Parsons, without Tucker Kraft. If the Rams go into Chicago and beat the Bears, they either go to Seattle and you play a division opponent for the third time in a season, which I think helps you, or you host the San Francisco 49ers, the Red Cowboys, and it's Bang Bang Niner Gang, and it's going to be Bang Bang Escalator Gang once again, like we saw in 2021. So I love the fact that this is shaping up the way that it is. I think the path is there for the Rams. I really, really do. I think the path is there for the Rams. And just look at this. They beat up the Vikings pretty good last year in the wild card round, and they lost in the division round. They got their wake-up call early against the Panthers. They know that they're going to be a road team unless it's the 49ers, so they've got to lock in. You've got Matthew Stafford, who led them to another massive, massive win in the playoffs. Didn't have his best stuff. It's like a pitcher that doesn't have his best stuff, but he still finds a way to win. That was Stafford against the Panthers. Comes back late. Other thing, though, you're just going to get a better version of the Rams moving forward. I mean, is Matthew Stafford going to throw another interception? Is he going to play injured? Is Quentin Lake going to get beaten that bad? Or is he going to improve after getting his first game under his belt? Is Devontae Adams going to get his feet under him? I think so. And another thing, too, is penalties. Just look at the penalties in that game that really hurt the Rams. The Rams were the least penalized team in the NFL this year, but they had a lot of penalties that were costly against the Panthers on Sunday. Kobe Durant had a pass interference in the end zone on a third down. That led to Chuba Hubbard's touchdown. Quentin Lake had a pass interference right before the half. That led to a Panthers touchdown. The Rams just continue to shoot themselves in the foot all afternoon. And in the second half, Braden Fisk called for an offsides on 3rd and 5. That gave the Panthers a free play. They ended up moving the chains. And then on special teams, too, Deshaun Johnson was called for unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on the Panthers' kick return in the third quarter. That gave them an extra 15 yards. That started their drive to the 46-yard line. So the Rams have been great under Sean McVay, but you get 9 penalties, 83 yards. That is not Rams football. The big thing to look forward to is just the cornerback play like we talked about. That has to change. They tried to put Emmanuel Forbes on Ted McMillan. That didn't work. Jalen Coker, he was open, felt like all game. The Rams just did not get it done, and it was a matchup nightmare. The Panthers were getting whatever they wanted on the outside. One of the biggest plays of the game, that 15-yard catch by Coker, and Durant just could not get it done in coverage. So, I mean, bigger takeaway is they're going to have to draft the cornerback. Absolutely 100%. They can't do it now. So, we'll see. I think that there's a lot at stake as far as that position. But Devontae Adams was up and down. I mean, 5 receptions for 72 yards. Special teams clearly not fixed. Sean McVay abandoned the run too early. He really did. But I still feel good about this Rams team moving forward. I think they're going to beat the Bears. And I think that I still believe, like the intro says, the Rams are going to win the Super Bowl. I still feel like they are. Let's get some super chats in here. We got Trade Herbert along with a first for Lamar Jackson. That's from Tone Loke. The Truth Seeker, let's go Rams. I'll give you a just ram it. We've got Don Kim, Miss Dodgers Nation live today, but glad to be here for LASR. Yeah, shout out to you guys. Join us on Laser. Hopefully this week we get the call-ins, man. I want to hear you guys' the dulcet tones of your voices on this show. My birds are out from Gary A. Hey, you won a Super Bowl last year. He'll be fine. Rams beat Bears 34-17. BC Glad McVay abandoned their run in the Super Bowl when they averaged 1.9 yards per carry, and Stafford won the game with his arm. Yeah, that's with a different running backs group. On Saturday, I mean, Kyron had 57 yards on 13 carries. Blake Corum had 45 on 11 carries. So you ran the ball efficiently. You just didn't run the ball enough. And I think that could be a sign that you are a little just pass happy. It felt like Sean McVay was kind of chasing those points through the air after the second half. We got Patriots, baby, from Dodger. Let's go. Rams, F for everyone else. Where did the offensive line go for the Chargers? Yeah, you tell me. Chargers don't have what it takes. Mario, D-Mac in the game, putting in work. There we go. Yeah, Chargers, please go back to San Diego. They are football lonely. Ricardo, what up, Ricardo Sandoval, my buddy? The Chargers were without two of their top offensive players in Alton Slater. Tough to overcome that. Yeah, I could not agree more. Like I said, Justin Herbert, never forget, it was me when the entire media slandered you for that 24-hour stretch after you lost to the Patriots. It was me, your boy, D-Mac, right here. You got David Portnoy, when you got every NFL analyst, when you even got Chargers podcasters and analysts saying they need more from you. I need more from you, but I've got your back. I still think you're a top 5 quarterback in this league. It's just you're on the San Diego Padres. I mean, San Diego Chargers. Is there really a difference? I mean, LA let you guys see what I'm saying here, right? And look, I want Justin Herbert to be the the Chargers. If you're going to be an LA team, stop doing San Diego stuff in LA. How about that? The Chargers are acting like a San Diego team in Los Angeles. Okay? It's time to start acting like an LA team in Los Angeles if you want to win over the fan base and you want to get eyeballs in this city. Let's just call that what it is. Because right now the Chargers are way down the pecking order when it comes to overall interest. And guess what? The good thing for you, San Diego, is that this is a front runner town. Like if you win, they will show up like we heard in Field of Dreams. So I still believe that they got a franchise quarterback. They just got to do better around him. Okay. How come you don't cover the LA Angels on this show? Well, because they're not in LA. They're in Anaheim. They really are. But you know what? For you, we might do some Angels stuff in here. Might as well. Drew Durr, the Rams took care of business. I didn't like to not kick that field goal late in the first half. Yeah. Ruben, the LA Chargers are starting to make the San Diego Padres look like a good playoff team. Ooh, that's a burn. That is a burn. All right, let's switch gears. Talk some Dodger baseball. Was there anything new on the free agency front today? And the question is, how much will the Dodgers get? How close will they get to signing any of the big name free agents? Well, today it did come out that Cody Bellinger was meeting with the Yankees again. They're still at an impasse. They're still far off in discussions. And right now it feels like the way the negotiations are going, it feels like there's a pretty good chance that he's not going to be a New York Yankee. And if he's not a New York Yankee, then what happens? Then he's back with LA. And the other big news was that Kyle Tucker did have a meeting with the Dodgers. So I still think the Dodgers need to do anything they can to try to get Kyle Tucker at this point. And the reason I say that is if there are no major trade options out there, Kyle Tucker is the best possible option. And it was reported that he is probably not going to get that long-term deal with the Mets. So basically it's either the Blue Jays or the Dodgers for Tucker. And he's going to his age 29 season. age 29 season. I mean, you've got a year to come to LA, have a great year, re-enter the market, and sign a long-term deal. So that's kind of where they're at with Kyle Tucker. We definitely need some more news, though. I mean, the news is kind of slow. There was some discussion that Major League Baseball needs to have a free agency deadline. I'm kind of against that. I really am. I really think that Major League Baseball is kind of fine where they're at. But when you look at the top 50 free agents, they're starting to fall off the board. Alex Bregman, he signed with the Cubs, but you still have names available. Cody Bellinger, you've got Kyle Tucker. Another one that'll be interesting for the Dodgers is, do you go after Harrison Bader? Harrison Bader had his best season since 2021. He's swinging harder, hitting for more power. He's more of a defense-first type of player, so it kind of makes you wonder, will the Dodgers go in on that? I'm not so sure that they would. I think they either want to get Kyle Tucker, Cody Bellinger as a backup if he's willing to sign for 4 years or less, and then I think that you kind of look at that trade market with Wilyer Abreu, Jarren Duran, Stephen Kwan. I mean, are those names really available? Brendan Donovan, Lars Nootbaar. Names that don't necessarily move me. I think Tucker, if you can get him at your price, come to LA, Kyle Tucker. Come to LA, win a World Series, and then re-enter the market and get a big bag. But that is the latest. The question is, what happened during that meeting? Like, what did the Dodgers sell Kyle Tucker on? That's kind of what I'm curious about. Like, was it your standard Dodgers pitch? All right, short-term, high AAV with the opt-outs, win a World Series, make the All-Star team, Silver Slugger? Or was it, hey, we've identified some things that even you, Kyle Tucker, could be better at. And because of those improvements, we're going to help you. Like, wouldn't it be funny if the Dodgers were out and open and upfront about the fact that, hey, like, we want this to be a one-year deal. You want this to be a one-year deal? We want this to be a one-year deal. Let's work together, and we will find ways because, hey, we're going to put you in between a certain grouping, right? Where would he bat in the lineup, right? Where would Kyle Tucker bat in the lineup with the Dodgers? That kind of makes you wonder. And I think if the Dodgers signed Kyle Tucker, the fact that he's a left-handed hitter, I think this is how the Dodgers lineup would look if they signed him. Shohei Ohtani bats leadoff, designated hitter. Mookie Betts batting second, playing shortstop. Freddie Freeman batting third at first base. Will Smith batting fourth at catcher, and then Kyle Tucker in right batting fifth. After him, you got Teoscar Hernandez in left, Max Muncy at third, Andy Paz in center field, and Tommy Edman at second base. This could be the Dodgers opening day lineup. This is the all-star team for the National League. Shohei Ohtani, all-star MVP. Mookie Betts, all-star MVP. Freddie Freeman, all-star MVP. Will Smith, all-star. Kyle Tucker, all-star. Teoscar Hernandez, all-star. Max Muncy, all-star. Andy Pages, close to being an all-star last season. Tommy Edman, a great versatile player who's the NLCS MVP. You would have an all-star at almost every single slot. Other thing would you consider too is, would you consider stacking the lineup a little more? We saw Mookie Betts move down in the lineup for Game 6 of the World Series. Would you consider seeing that if you are Dave Roberts? Because they moved Mookie Betts down to the cleanup spot, and he had that big 2-run single to start the scoring for LA. Would you consider Will Smith in the 2-hole? One thing we do know is they want a right-handed batter second, and they want to put hitters in between that you can't have those matchup advantages for. So I think that's the lineup. I mean, that lineup just gives you goosebumps. Another thing you consider too is, would you put Kyle Tucker at third and Freddie fifth? I mean, does Freddie miss some time and you put Freddie at you put Kyle Tucker batting third, and there's so many opportunities for Kyle Tucker to bat higher in the lineup. So, hey, we're going to start manifesting this, okay? You need help in your outfield, and Kyle Tucker is certainly a guy that puts you over the top. All right, switch to the Lakers. Do some Laker talk. We've got an interesting little tidbit today from LeBron James and the farewell tour that isn't, I guess I would say. I think the interesting thing about LeBron James at this point is LeBron soft launching a farewell tour. Is he? Because Monday came out that LeBron James is going to don a special commemorative patch on his jersey that represents his 23 years in the league. This is from Topps. James' jersey will have a patch affixed to the upper right chest to celebrate his record-setting 23rd NBA season, featuring a silhouette of his pregame chalk toss and 3 colored stripes representing the franchises he has played for in Cleveland, Miami, and LA. James will wear the patch throughout the remaining 46 games of the regular season. And we're not jumping to any conclusions here because this is Topps and the trading card company, and it's new for LeBron, but it's not new for Topps. They've had players wear specific jerseys to commemorate in their history. It would go on to say, after every game James plays, the patch will be removed from his jersey by the Lakers equipment manager, dated and then shipped to Topps' production facility in Dallas, where it will be authenticated and later inserted into a trading card. Topps, which launched its first NBA licensed cards in 16 years in October, introduced a similar jersey patch program with rookies wearing a debut patch on their uniform for their first game last season. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had one for the MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Evan Mobley, Rookie of the Year, Stephon Castle, all wore the special gold NBA logo on the back of the uniform that was featured later on a trading card. This is pretty interesting stuff. It feels like LeBron and his relationship with the Lakers might be starting to run its course because the team realized they have to build around Luka, but LeBron is someone that has kind of hinted at wanting a farewell tour. And I think the most important thing is if you're going to have a farewell tour or at least have a kind of goodbye, you do it before the All-Star game. The only thing is LeBron's still playing pretty well. He's better than most players in the league in his 23rd season. So, but why would they do this now is my question. Like, I mean, why wouldn't they just launch this at the beginning of the season? Who came up with the idea right now? I don't know. I mean, I think the patch is pretty interesting. Rob, what do you think?
I like the patch. I'm also a big card collector myself. So this is great for the card collecting community. There's been a pretty big downturn in terms of the value of these cards. So having these exclusive patches really do big things for collectors, I feel like.
Yeah, I think, look, we'll see. I mean, his retirement tour, I think, is going to be pretty big. It really is. I just wonder if he's going to do this right now, or is he going to do the full-blown, I'm announcing that I'm retiring the summer before my final season. So every single, whether it be opportunistic, it's a collectible, whatever it is it's a La Patch.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see if he's willing to go that route.
I do think he would give it like one more season before he like formally announces. But I mean, who knows? I feel like he's also getting up there in age, and he kind of is alluded to kind of being done, for a while. So
it's a cool concept. It really is. I mean, it definitely stands out. That's for sure. But if he's going to retire, I think that there's just everything that LeBron does is so calculated. It's so done in advance that it just really makes you wonder kind of why now for this, and kind of what is the next step. But is it a soft launch? Even if it's not a soft launch officially, like, this is a sign that the end is near, whether it be next year. I don't think there's any way he plays past next season. I really don't. I mean, I think that this could be the end. I don't expect it to be right now, but I would be surprised if he played past next season.
You don't think he's going to wait it out for Bryce?
I don't know. I mean, maybe he wore his shoes the other night, right? The Arizona LeBrons. Maybe that was his calling card. I think about Bryce, man. Like, I mean, Bronny was I would say, I don't want to say unqualified enough, but I mean, yeah, Bryce clearly doesn't project as an NBA player right now. I mean, is there anyone, Noel, like that's saying like, I mean, that's like having like a single A player going right after the show. I mean, like, is Bryce even on NBA radars? Or
I mean, here's the thing: Bronny, before the heart condition, before the cardiac arrest, he was at least putting up respectable numbers. I don't mean this in a bad way. Bryce has the genetics of LeBron more so than Bronny, in my opinion. He has the height, the length, the physical tools, but the stats have been pretty sad. He's definitely not on serious NBA radars right now.
I mean, that's the thing, man. Like, they're just. The idea that he would even be a one and done is ridiculous. I mean, at that point, just put Zuri James on the Lakers too. Like, I mean, at that point, just have his daughter go in the league too, and just kind of make this the WWE. I mean, the Bronny James thing. I mean, you kind of understand it, and I think that he's earned a lot of respect with his improvements. But there's no way you can convince me that Bryce James is anywhere near being ready to play in the NBA. I just do not see that. I don't think any scouts see that. And I think LeBron, I don't think that he wants to embarrass his son like that too. I mean, at that point, you're kind of like, the Bronny James thing, like you said, like he was at least on radars.
Yeah.
Bryce James is not. Now, last thing here, we got an update on the Luka Dennis Schroeder situation where Anthony Slater, he reported that Schroeder had approached Doncic and said that he, quote, can't call him a bitch, a biatch on the court and pretend like everything is fine off the court. And we got an update on this basically a couple of weeks later where he got suspended for 3 games. And that's a pretty lengthy suspension for reportedly attempting to hit Luka Doncic. So back on December 28th, the Kings lost 125-101 to the Lakers. But what happened after the game was the story. So the NBA, they suspended Dennis Schroeder for 3 games after he tried to hit a player, quote, after the game. And according to Chris Mannix, that player was Luka Doncic. So basically, Dennis Schroeder tried to attack Luka Doncic after the game. It says, quote, the incident occurred approximately 40 minutes following the Kings' 125-101 loss to Los Angeles Lakers. Schroeder sought out the player in an arena hallway and initiated the confrontation. Schroeder, 32, has played 13 years in the NBA for 10 different teams. And this comes as a pretty big shocker just because what are they basing this off of? Are they basing this off of hearsay? Do they have some video? Do they use surveillance video? I'm sure TMZ has got to get on this. But this is pretty interesting stuff because Dennis Schroeder, we know he can certainly be a trash talker. He can incite, but suspended for trying to hit Luka Doncic after the game. This is pretty wild stuff, Noel.
Super wild. And I don't know if you saw D-Mac, but Dennis went on ESPN's Instagram post for it not too long after. And he put attempted with a question mark and some emojis insinuating he actually hit Luka. Like he was going in there.
So he owned up to it.
Yeah, he owns up to it saying, I didn't get suspended for no reason. I got my lick.
Hey, look, man, if you can't handle the get back, man, like, what are you supposed to say? But then I kind of respect this too. I kind of respect this by Dennis Schroeder for not basically denying it. I mean, I will say to Dennis, good luck overseas next year, wherever the hell you're playing. But I mean, the fact that he basically admitted it is pretty crazy. I'm seeing it right now. Attempting. Oh, he's got my favorite sideways face crying emoji with the eyeballs. But I mean, a 3-game suspension is a lot for wanting to fight someone.
Yeah.
And you're not going to get 3 games for just wanting to fight someone.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, the NBA is the hold me back league, right? The, hey, no one's going to throw down league. But to actually fight is pretty crazy. My whole thing is this, like, how the hell in the big 2025, 2026 does no footage exist? Like, we literally got footage of Draymond Green decking Jordan Poole from a practice, but we can't get Dennis Schroeder trying to swing at Luka Doncic.
Don't worry, Doug.
Yeah.
I'm sure by the end of the game tonight, we're going to check X, so we're going to see a video with the big TMZ watermark, and it's going to show Dennis throwing a Brandon Ingram type punch at Luka.
Hey, we need to see this, man. I mean, honestly, because that's a pretty wild development. But come on, Dennis Schroeder, we need to see this on the court, man. Do this NBA fandom thing right, and let us see it with our own eyes. But yeah, we'll see Lakers tonight. Lakers Kings. We'll do a full breakdown tomorrow. Lakers trying to get on another run, which they need. But Dennis Schroeder, man, did he lose his Lakers privileges? You know what I'm saying?
Like, there was another video too. I think this is what really made him punch Luka when Luka was telling him should have signed that contract.
Yeah.
He struck a nerve with that one. I feel like that's really what Dennis, he probably didn't want to tell ESPN that, but that's what got him to go after Luka.
I mean, and here's the thing. Where's the lie?
$84 million down the drain.
He should have signed that contract, man. He really should have. I mean, he ended up making a lot less than that. I think he's on like a $45 million deal, right, with the Kings, but still, back when he could have signed that deal, would be at a much better spot. So, yeah, Dennis Schroeder, not only did you not sign that contract, you're going to lose some more. You lose even more money now. So you should have not tried to fight Luka. If I'm the NBA, by the way, and I got role players trying to hit my stars, you're getting more than 3 games.
Dude, it's crazy too, because a lot of these guys, like just this season alone, Chris Dunn has went at Luka. Now Dennis has gone at Luka. The other guy in the Pelicans, he's their rookie. A lot of guys are going at Luka this year.
Hey, man, Luka's a great trash talker. Yeah, he really is. Like, I mean, there was that video too of when they're at the free throw line where Dennis Schroeder was saying something to him. I think that he was trying to say, "I'm going to beat your ass."
Oh yeah,
right. So he was threatening them on the court. So I guess he wasn't lying there. I mean, I guess what he meant to say, "I'm going to try to beat your ass." So. Yeah, hey, I cannot wait to see the next time these teams match up. When's that going to be? We need to see Slovenia versus Germany in some like international.
So that's the thing too. I was watching some old tape. They've gone at it a couple times in EuroLeague. So this has been something that's been brewing for years.
Yeah, Dennis Schroeder, man. I don't know. He's like the I don't know what we could call him, like the Delonte West of like Rajon Rondo's or something.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like I'm trying to think of like the kind of player he is, but yeah, hey, should have signed that contract. Hey, that could be our first LA Sports Report Lakers t-shirt. Should have signed that contract. That might be a banger. That might be a banger.
We need that.
All right, but let's get some comments here on the way out. We got a super chat. A super chat for the LA Sports Report, baby. That's what's up. I'm going to give you a
We know where producer Hot Dog is going to be spending it.
Oh, yeah. You guys have my file? Dora Dexter. All right, we got, just want to say thank you, D-Mac, for covering all LA sports. Yeah, man, I'm here for you guys. Let's remember we're the city of champions, right? Dennis A. Smith needs to calm down. I like that Bloodhound, little Jeff. PTR Turbo Shooter looks like Grace Jones' little brother. Low key, the guy on the right has great hair from Rocky Rivera 5. Noel, give him some love. Hey, you're getting some love for your hair.
Oh, really?
And some.
Let's go.
And his ball knowledge too. He's a great ball knower. And we got Tone Loke. Dennis should have signed. Oh, man, that's literally gonna haunt. That's gonna be like his haunting.
No, here's the thing, dude. It's been years. To my knowledge, no player has told Dennis that. Luka just went right for the heart with that one.
I mean, that's what you ate. Like Larry Bird was known as one of the great trash talkers ever. Luka Doncic, kind of that. Yeah. I always think too, like good trash talk. Like if you can piss someone off without using profanity or without calling them names, that's when you can really get under skin. Like no profanity, no name calling. It's like you bring up something that haunts them and it's like go time. So yeah, Dennis Schroeder, man, you should have signed that contract. Here we go. Dameron, look at the Chargers making the laser LASR. I thought D-Mac only covered the real LA teams. Hey, cover all LA teams, baby. But that's going to do it, guys. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. Subscribe, hit the notification bell. Do me a huge favor. Hit the like button. We are just getting going here on the LA Sports Report. I think we're going to start going earlier in the day pretty soon, too. So it's kind of going to turn to kind of a fun morning show, kind of like a maybe 10:30 before Dodgers Dugout Live. So let us know in the comments when you'd want to see the show live, what fits your schedule. Do you like afternoons? Do you like mornings? Let us know. And until next time, LA is the city of champions.